This program is brought to you by Shiloh Wellness Center. Peaceful and safer health for everyone.
Good day, viewers. Hope everyone is okay. I'm Sister Mami Mohota from Shiloh Wellness Clinic. Okay. As we know that in the society we're facing a lot of things. A lot of things are happening in our societies. For example, your gender-based violence, kids who are not doing well at school, child-headed families, and a whole lot that we can unpack that are happening in our communities at large. So research does show that most of our problems that we're currently facing, they do begin from childhood. Today we're privileged to have a very special guest whom I'm very fond of. She's Pastor Yvie. She can tell us more about herself. Pastor Yvie, over to you.
Hello, everybody. Blessings, I would say. My name is Yvonne Tandiwe Nkomo. They call me Pastor Yvie, and I am a person that really loves and has learned about children. That helped me to really look back and see some of the things that I personally went through that makes me realize that someone has to advocate for the children. Someone has to stand in the gap for them. And as you see how tiny they are helpless. They cannot talk for themselves. They cannot do things because they know that the adult person will say, hey, Wena, hey. So we grew up like that. And because of that, we tend to be like that to the children as well. So I'm the person that is out there to educate both children and parents, crash practitioners, anyone that is dealing with the children to know where they're coming from.
Okay, that's very interesting, because children are not really paid, not really, no one really, okay, let me not say not no one. We have very few individuals who are really willing to advocate for the little ones because they do not have a voice.
Yeah.
You're doing a very brilliant job, I must say. Okay, when did the journey start? How did you go about it? Like what?
I think it's safe to say it starts when, it started when I went to a Montessori school to work as a music person because I'm also a musician.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
And yes, so when I was there, the way children were treated, it was not the way I know how children are being treated in general. The children were treated with respect. The children were treated as human beings. The children were treated as people that think, not just numbers or things or whatever you can think of, as we have been raised and have raised our own children. Because I've got 3 children, 3 boys. My 2 were raised in a way that I was raised, which is, I'm not going to talk. If I want things done, they must be done, and this is what I'm going to do and what not, enforcing things on them and not listening to anything from them. But the last one was privileged because then I had gone to training to know how to teach a child or how to treat a child while you are interacting with a child. So that is where it started. And my eyes were open to the fact that no, these are human beings. They are just in the small body and undeveloped, lesser developed than an older person, but they are human beings.
That's very powerful, I must say. Okay. So, like you mentioned that that the 2, you've got 3, and the 2 were raised old school way, I must say, and the other one was privileged. Do you see the difference?
I could say it is different. However, remember, in the journey of life, a child will grow and make their own decisions. It doesn't matter what childhood did to them, but when they make a decision, that decision will determine whether they go according to the positive way of living or negative way of living, be it that they grew up with a harsh mother or whatever. So the difference is not, I would say, it's not so huge, because the other one is a Christian. I'm a believer as well. I must say, I love God. So the other one is just in the house of the Lord, working for God, doing the things of God. So that, because remember, life itself is not life without God. So he got born again and he followed through the ways of God, and God being the Father, God fathered him. Yeah. So, and because God is a good father, he then got the recompensation, if I can put it like that, of him now becoming an adult that you would say has never gone through the harshness of a parent, And then with the other one, the one that I'm saying, I was now knowing how to at least knowing a bit about children. That one as well is in God, in Christ. So it's I think we're boiling down to the fact that if a child is raised in the way of the Lord, it will help to deal with whatever trauma, whatever bad raising, or whatever way that they were raised that was not good. It does really help, because then the child becomes what God intends for them to become. We cannot run away from the fact that our children needs to be raised with that thing, Yoguti. Even if my parents are harsh, even if I'm feeling like I'm not loved in the family and whatnot, God loves me. We cannot run away from that, because that is what becomes an anchor for each and every child. Because if that is not there, then the child grows up with this anger to say, okay, this is how it's done. And anyone that I come across, that's how I'm going to treat them, because that's how I was treated. So it becomes a norm. Those trauma, I call them traumas. Those traumas of being raised in a way that is, they don't get listened to. They are not treated as human beings. Those traumas, they then take them through and they do it with their wives, with their children, because they don't know anything else. They know that this is how you treat a person. If they don't do right, you beat them, you just treat them anyhow, you talk them or down to them on them and things like that. So it does help when you get the right mindset to say, even if this happened to me, it doesn't mean that I am worthless. I am worth something because I was created in the image of God. I was created, he loves me, therefore I will be positive and different. I was answering your question to say, what's the difference? So the difference is you cannot see it if the decision that was made at an older stage is to have God as the Father, because God is a good Father.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we have a pastor in the house today. Amen. Okay, Pastor Ivy. Can you just break down the services that you offer that can be very effective to the community and that they can make use of you? As I would personally call you, or professionally call you, a children's advocate, and I believe that you've got there's different households with different parenting styles.
Yes.
And those parenting styles, others they're positive, others they're negative. I'm talking as a professional and from the experience, my personal experience as well.
Yes.
So can you kindly break down the services that you offer for our viewers to know?
Okay, the services I offer, I think I would start with the one for children and parents. I bring that piece to say how to look at the child in terms of them being children and not take everything to say they are naughty, they don't listen, they stubborn, they this. I help them understand where the child is coming from. When they do something, why should you look and observe first before you can make the assumption that this child is being, whatever, is being rude or is being naughty or whatever, even from the smallest, from 1 year, a child needs to be observed to see what are they trying to do. There was a day when I was with the parents that I needed to train their nanny. I do nanny training as well. That's another one.
Okay.
So a child kept on stretching the hand at the table. We were at the table, and the parent keeps on saying, "No, don't." Just taking the hand back. Yeah. And the child kept on doing that, only to find that there was a toy that the child was reaching to. The child was looking for his toy. It was on the table.
Oh, sure.
So it can be, the children are very misunderstood. Very misunderstood. When a child is pulling something in your house, you are saying the child is naughty. This one, since he turned 2, he's so naughty, he's pulling everything.
We call them terrible 3.
Yes. No, they are not naughty. There is inside of them something that wants to pull so that they can be able to develop their muscles, their gross motor skills. It's developed by them doing those things, but then they don't see anywhere to do it except to just pull your things, pull your drawers, take out, they want to take out your things. And I'm not saying it's right for you to just leave the house to be messy because of that, but let's redirect. Let's try and get something that the child can pull that is not going to mess the house, but still pulling. Maybe they are kick everything. Let's get a ball and take them outside to say, we can play this thing, do you know that? But we can play it outside with a ball. We can't kick the pots, for example, the pot is sitting down, whatever the case may be. So that is what I do. So when the child grows, of course, I also help with, because the children, sometimes are not free to talk to their parents. Mm-hmm. That is why you find them one day he's hanging in, God forbid, but he's in their room, she is in the room, or he and hanging himself because they couldn't talk to anyone. Mm-hmm. So if a child is quiet and you don't understand the child, let's talk about it. I'm doing counseling. Let's talk about it to hear what do you see? What are the signs? Because before the child can do something like that, there were signs. You see them closing themselves in their room all the time. Mm-hmm. And when you come in, they it's almost they don't want to talk, but they have something inside. Maybe they've done something wrong and they're thinking you are going to shout at them as you do. Because those things that we do to shout at them, don't listen and everything, it makes them be aloof and think, I'm not going to tell this person what happened. So what am I going to do? Who am I going to tell?
So they basically don't feel safe.
But they don't feel safe. And it's sad because the people that they should be saved, they should feel safe about, they are the very people that they feel like, no, I cannot talk to my mom. My mom is going to shout at me, or my mom is going to, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I do those counselings. And also, something very important, the children don't become very confident if they don't know how to read, if they don't know how to express themselves in this language, English, where every subject is addressed in English and things like that. So I do that. Extra lessons and online, of course, and in English reading and Zulu. Of course, I do Zulu as well. I'm a Zulu. Yeah, but then at the end of the day, it's counseling, it's extra lessons that I do, and also just spiritual counseling where the parents need to be helped to understand the spiritual and the emotional part of the child more than just looking at the physical and thinking and making decisions about the child, decisions that are negative, and only to find that if they understood, then they would have addressed something better. Yeah, and what I notice as well, and not to be long, but I noticed that as parents or older people, we model ourselves in front of the children as holy thou art. Very holy, no fault. You know that you used to do something. You did smoke janga or ganja or something. You did fall pregnant at the age of 14 or 15. All those things, if the child is going through something, you need to be able to say, I relate. This is this is not going to help, because this is where I also passed, or my aunt or my sister. Relate. Let the child see that it's something that is common, but it's something that I can overcome if I am listening to those who have been there before. Let us not make the children think they are the worst of sinners, that they cannot even say something about themselves being sinful, or let me just say being wrong, doing something evil, as if we didn't do evil. Maybe we did worse. Maybe they are just being like us. Especially sometimes you find that there's a child that is like you, just like you. They remind you of you when you are growing up. And now you are developing resentment of this child. Kandi, this child reminds you of you. Why don't you sit down? They trigger. So we need to sit down and say, you know what? I also, when my mom talked, I also used to do this and say, so it's not good because it's not blessed. Let's talk about it. If you don't like something, let's talk about it. And be able to say that I know what you're going through. I used to be like this, but it doesn't help, because right now I got children at very early in my age. I couldn't finish school. I can't get a right job. So let's not do that, because then you will find yourself being like me. Do you like to see yourself in my kitchen? So if you don't want to see yourself working at the kitchen and everything, you want a profession, you want to have your own money and things like that, don't do that. Avoid doing that. Talk about things. Let's work it together. We don't do that. We want to say, what? Boyfriend? What happened? Somebody wants to be your girlfriend, your boyfriend. So, and the child cringes and say, oh, this is so evil. That means I'm so evil because somebody told me they love me and the boy are looking at me. So we confuse this thing. And yet what we went through, it's a lesson so that we can teach the children as well, that you do go through that. The boys will tell you they love you. The boys will tell you that you are beautiful. But it doesn't mean that you need to yield your life to them. You need to still be yourself.
From parents' perspective, what is that one thing that parents are missing on understanding how to raise a child that you feel would help a lot? And then from the kids' perspective, what is that one thing that they can at least relate? Because abantwana siyaziba abazi next. Is there a way to kind of, because there's a reason why ngithi kuye umntwana suka lapho ungafaka inqola eplakini. You know, it's because I want to protect. So how do I now communicate that in a way that will not stop them from being curious,
yes,
but protect them, obviously?
Okay. The parents, you said to me, you asked what are the parents missing? What is missing for us as parents is the fact that the environment should be child-friendly. Children are part of the family. So anything that we do needs to be able to think about the child. For example, with a plug, there's this thing that you put there to stop. It's a stopper, so that those holes are not exposed. So if I think it's less than 20 rand, or it's less than 30 rand. If I don't buy those things and close, then I'm not being conscious of the fact that there is a child in here. So children will want to explore everything that is available to them, because they think the environment is also for me. They are not thinking the environment is only for you. That is why you will find a child taking a long broom. He is 2. He's taking a long broom and trying to sweep. Why? They are saying, I am part of this environment. If they are cleaning it, I'm also supposed to clean it. Let me also sort the mess. Especially when there's a mess around them. They want to sweep. I'm sweeping. You know, you hear them saying, I'm sweeping. I'm sweeping. And then you come. Leave the broom. Where have you swept? Leave that broom, it's going to hurt you. We always want to say to the child, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. And at the end of the day, we put that fear in the children. Before you know it, a child is not confident anymore. They raised in a fear mode. That is why you find a child, an adult that has been raised like that with a fear. They can't even go out and do a business. They're sitting in one company. They're thinking, hey, if I leave my job, I can't even open a company. Because I can't. They have been raised with the I can't, and the I can't is ruling their life until now. That is why we see people staying in companies for a long time, 10, 20 years, 40 years. He's in the company because he's afraid to take out the foot and go out there and see what they can do for themselves. They are pro in the company. They can do this thing, but they don't want to open a company because they are saying, what if it doesn't exist? It doesn't work. Because when they were growing up, they were told, you will hurt yourself. That's not going to work. You know what I'm saying?
So
now,
as parents,
okay.
are you saying we just build up a lot of negativity
Exactly.
into our kids?
Exactly. And not consciously so.
Oh, yeah.
Unconsciously so, because you are thinking you are protecting the child. Because, if that child is having that long broom, it's not safe for the child. That is why there are shops now that sells the shorter broom, which is child-friendly, that you need to acquire for your 2-year-old, that they can also take it and sweep. So you need to find an alternative. Like I said, he's kicking in the house, kicking anything. Then you say, let's kick the ball. Let's go outside and kick the ball. Then they are able to still achieve that gross motor development, but in the right way, outside with the ball.
It's more of exploring the milestones.
You see what I'm saying? Yes. So I spoke about the environment. Number one, that the parents, what makes us as parents fail our children is the environment that is not friendly for them. We're living our lives as if we don't have children. There is everything for the older people, but there's nothing for the child. You see, even that smaller table, the yellow, green, red table, the smaller table with chairs, you don't find them. And there's a 3-year-old, but there's no chair like that. So the 3-year-old must sit on the floor, okay? Sit on the floor, right? This is my home. I don't have a table that is size my size. I don't have a chair that is my size. You know what I'm saying? The list that we do maybe is just to obtain the plates and the small plates, the plastic plates, to save because you're gonna break my plates. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you use this one. So it's almost like children becomes like an inconvenience or whatever, instead of becoming like one of us. And treating them with respecting that they are part of the family. The fact that they are children does not mean that they are not part of the family. We can treat people from outside so well, but not our children.
They even have special cutlery.
Yes. But just to buy a child a chair, a small chair, it's about 90 rand, I'm sure. Less than 100 rand. A small chair, and those tables are 199 or whatever. You spend it once just to make sure that they've got their corner. They've got a pen they can write. They've got paper that they can scribble and things like that. We think that is for the school, but no, it's for the child, so that the child can also feel part of the family.
Yeah, because the next thing they're there on the couch and they're like, hey, why on my couch? And then how you look. The wall, they're writing on the walls. They're writing everywhere
because there's nothing
wrong with that, because if they had resources in the house,
that's it.
Like we said, an environment that's child friendly, all of that would have been avoided.
Yes.
So parents, it's very important for kids to have toys. Toys are very important for their milestones, like the expert has said it. Okay.
I think another thing that we need to be, I'm still with the parents, that we need to be aware of. The way we raise our children, we set them up for their lives. If we raise them with the mentality of, oh, we don't have, oh, it's so hard, oh, it's whatever, they are growing up with the same mentality. They don't have the focus of, in the future, this is going to happen. I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. So we should be wary of making the children feel like to suffer is the right thing. Yeah, sit on the floor, do this. No, we should be able to make our children, not faking, but to make our children know that it is possible. It can be better. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm still putting money together. I'm going to buy you your table. One day you'll have your table and things like that. Putting them in the loop to know that I don't have a table, I'm sitting on the floor, but my parents are going to buy me a small chair. My parents, you know what I'm saying? So, yes. So I'm a parent. Parents, I want you to know that you are the best. You are doing the best that you know, but you can learn some things and you can unlearn those things that you learned through the experience of what was done to you by your parents. I respect you and I know that you mean well. And especially with this time when you don't know what to do, I can't hit the child, I can't do this, but I don't know what to do. You need to realize that it is time for you to give yourself time to learn that the child is not harming you in any way. They are just being a child. You are being an adult that need to make sure that the environment is right for them and make sure that they are able to speak to you, they are able to grow together and become. Yeah, have them in mind. Yeah. A child as early as if they can hear what you're saying, talk to them. Talk to them. To the point whereby when you change their nappy, you talk to them, even if they can't talk back and say, okay, let's go and change the nappy. But I'm changing your nappy, let's go change your nappy. You know, I'm doing this. I'm making food for you. Would you like to have some food? Oh, the food is yummy. Talking to the child as early as possible, it helps them to also talk to you. And because they are able to talk to you, they will talk to you all the way as they are growing, because you have taught them we talk. Remember, a child does not do what you tell them. You must tell me where you are going. They will do what they see you doing. Do you say something when you go? Do you say, today I'm going to go there and there and there. When are you going to stay with auntie? But I'm going to come back. When I come back, we're going to spend time together and things like that. So if you don't tell them, how are they going to tell you? If they're not anything that a child does or does not do, you need to look at yourself. Do you do it? Or don't you do it? Because then you have modeled a behavior that you want to see in a child. It is very important to know whatever you do, the child imitates. If the children have somebody else in the house, you need to be aware what they are doing as well, because the child does not say, I'm going to imitate my mother. They imitate any adult in their environment or even a child in their environment. So sometimes you let your children go and sleep over there, and you don't even know what is the lifestyle there. They will imitate those things. They will come back and you will wonder, where is this coming from? So we need to be aware that children learn by observation and imitation. Monkey see, monkey do. That is what the child learns. That's how the child learns.
They mirror.
Yeah, you can tell them and they will say, yes, mommy, I'm sorry, mommy. They love you very much. But if it's not happening at home, if it's not a norm to say, people say where they are going, people respect each other and respect each other's things, you can't take a child's things and use them. And then when it comes to yours, hey, you mustn't touch my phone, you mustn't touch my thing. But you take their things and use without permission, without saying, baby, I want to use your spray, for example. You bought the spray for them. It's theirs. Yeah, it's my spray, and then you take it, you just spray. Hey, I don't see my spray. Without even asking. So there's respect. Basically, I want to say the respect that you want from the child is the respect that you display to the child so that they can give it back to you. You cannot get what you don't give to the child. If you didn't teach them the respect by respecting them, not by saying you should respect me. So if you polite with them, then you can think, hey, this child, what's going on? Then you know that maybe it's at school, maybe it's what, and then you can then try and say, my mommy talks to you so polite. What happened? Why did you talk to me like that? Because they know you this is what you do. Do it first. If you want respect these children. Stop looking down on them as if they're nobodies. They're your children. And when they grow, the funny thing is that when those children grow up, this thing takes another turn. Whatever you were doing to them, then you feel it now. You even become insecure around them, because now you can see that this person has grown. You cannot do what you are doing anymore. And some of them gets verbal and say that I hate you. You didn't. I know what you did to me when I was young. I hate you. You discriminated me. I know you love so and so more than me. Sometimes the others are verbal, but and the others can be so quiet but hurting inside. It's a trauma that they don't know how to deal with. Others just do it with the other people. This is how my mother raised my father and mother raised me. I'm gonna do the same to you. Where do they end up? In jail. Because that woman, that Mumakoti, Amshadin, when he gets bitten, he's gonna go open the case. The child is now at jail. Where does it start? It starts at home. From the time they were
even at school. That's where bullies are perfect.
Exactly.
That's where, yeah.
And then we say, oh, my child is rough. You are the one that was doing things that when the child looked, they thought, So if a person doesn't listen, you she's some palma. You know what I'm saying? And they do it, then they are in jail. So the book that I was talking about, in fact, I didn't talk about it. There's a book that I wrote about parents and children. One of the things I do explain in that is that with the children, they become what they sow and they suffer for what they have been taught through experience from the older people. You look at the schools, children are being spoken of as people, as these children of nowadays, they are rude, you can't tell them, they've got this, they want to hit us and whatnot. The question is, as a teacher, if you talk to a child and say, hey, wanna big head, do you think that child is going to respect you? Where are you going to get the respect from that child? Because that child doesn't know respect as far as you are concerned. Yes, they can respect someone else, but you did not plant respect. Why do you want to reap respect? So we need to realize that wherever you are with a child, the child is learning from you. Whatever behavior the child is learning, and he will give it back to you like that. And it shouldn't be a surprise. I'm not saying it's right. We should be praying about such things, and we should be really training our children in ways that we live with them. There is no teacher that can be disrespected by children that he respects. I've never seen it. It's like when you come to the class and the children are all noisy and whatnot, and you come and you do this. You will hear such a quietness. You can hear the pin falling down. Right? Why? They're imitating you. And then, instead of, why were you making noise? No. Business as usual. They are human beings. They were talking because they were human beings.
Yeah.
So, after talking, after quiet, then you can then say, okay, are we ready? Can we do some work? Yes, we can do some work. They come. But if you got in there and you're like, why are you making noise? They would be quiet for a little while, and then after they start again, because you are the one that is teaching them to shout.
No, it would be abnormal. I mean, in an environment, what about our social skills? The teacher is not around. Okay, we're socializing.
We're socializing. Obviously, there will be those that will be throwing things and making too much noise and whatnot, which is not a lot.
Yeah.
But those that are talking, we need to know that children have mouths and then minds, they've got something to tell each other. Now, because you are not there, they're telling each other whatever they're telling each other. So let them be. Education is beautiful, but we need to learn that, okay, I'm still talking. Can you guys be quiet because I'm still talking? Okay. All right. I'll give you a chance to talk. As a result, I used to teach the grade 4s and 5s Zulu. I would give them a chance and say, okay, you can talk. You guys want to talk to your friend? Talk. I'm still doing something, you can talk. I would not be irritated by each and every noise, even if I'm marking the books. No, they can talk. And then when I'm talking, they should respect me because now I'm talking.
Okay. So I have a question. As individuals, I can be a teacher, and then with these kids, I have my personal traumas as a person. So, is it possible for me as an individual to project my past traumas to my fellow learners or my kids?
It's trauma is always projected if it's not dealt with. If it's not confronted, you will project it
to others
because you don't know better. This is what you experience, and you think everybody must experience it because that is the right thing. They did it to me, so that means it's acceptable. So you can project the same trauma.
So people should start seeking help.
Seeking help is most important, because sometimes the trauma that you had, you are not aware that the damage was so big until you really do something bad, or to a child or to someone, and you're like, okay, I am very, very angry. I did not realize this. Or I am very, very hurt. I did not realize this. Because you're asking yourself questions. Why did this person do this? Why was he? What did I do? Didn't he see that I was small? Why didn't he talk to me? Why didn't he take me to my mom? Maybe it's a neighbor that hits you very badly, and you were scared to tell your mom because you had done something, even if it's a small thing. So you ask yourself questions all the way, and then, it does get projected. And yes, you have said a mouthful. Trauma needs to be confronted. We sometimes close ourselves with things. Oh no, because I'm praying, because I'm Christian, then we stop really becoming ourselves and say, did I really deal with this?
Or because I'm Black. I've noticed that race does have an impact when it comes to trauma, dealing with trauma and other personality disorders that I've been exposed to in my journey of in healthcare.
And trauma makes you a fake. You will be a fake. You will not be yourself. I'm talking to myself. You will not be yourself, because now you are trying to become something that you are not, because you are scared to be rejected, because maybe your trauma was rejection. So you are thinking, hey, if I say no, I'll be rejected. So maybe I should say yes. Can you wash the dishes? Yes, I'll wash the dishes. Oh, yeah. Can you accompany me there? Yeah, sure. Why not? But you are not really doing this because you want to do it, but you are doing it because you have become somebody else because of the trauma. That is why it's important to deal with it.
Okay. Just to add on what Pastor Ivy has been saying, we've been having the conversation. So in my profession, I've learned that we give birth to these things, and from this there are conditions at an early age, like your conduct disorders. I'm giving you a homework, something to go read about. That's going to be very impactful, I believe. That we now have this personality disorders. How did we come here? How did we get up being here with such? So it's like a child, we call it conduct disorder. It's a homework for me. Then conduct, they grow into being they don't listen to anyone. They are bullies. You find them others molesting animals. A poor bird, we just find a kid strangling that bird. It's because they saw the behavior somewhere, like we said earlier. And then they grow up into saying, you hear people saying, he's a narcissist, he's an antisocial. Not the antisocial that we all know, the antisocial in psychiatry. Now I'm speaking as a psychiatric nurse. I'm a psychiatric nurse, by the way. Yes. And I worked there for like 6 years. I've got 6 years of experience in psychiatry. That's where I learned these things that, they grow up with this. At an early age, you call it conduct, and then they come. So we automatically know that a kid who's diagnosed with conduct, when they grow up, they're going to be either be narcissist or antisocial. And antisocial, it's more dangerous and very scary because they inflict pain on others on purpose for them to feel good. Imagine inflicting pain on someone else to feel good about yourself. So that can be avoided by going for counseling, seeking for help, dealing with it, dealing with the giant that's ruling.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that's a homework from Shiloh Wellness Center to you,
Thank you so
Pastor
much.
Yes. So please do read on personality disorders, the different ones. There's borderline. You'll understand why this kid will say, no, what the poor lady, young lady, is just being promiscuous because she's seen it somewhere, or that's where she feels safe. Like when I'm doing this, when I'm sleeping with different men, I feel loved, accepted. Like you say, trauma, you being fake. I believe that all these personality disorders, like we're saying, it's disorders. We're not meant to be like that.
No.
Yes, so it's traumas. Oh yeah, I'd like to believe that. So
Yes.
and we'll hear there's this famous one. Hi, she's a narcissist, or he's a narcissist, and we make it fashionable. Seek help. Seek help. There are social workers, and for those who are scared of going to public facilities, we have your private counselors, Pastor YV. The services are very much affordable. Yeah.
Powerful. Thank you so much.
Okay. One last question, just from my side, Naomi. We're all victims in a way. Like, if you can track down the story, your mom can tell you a traumatic experience that happened with her mom, and it can go back.
That's right.
Everyone can point a finger at someone
Yes.
For their issues.
Yes.
How can we heal? How can we stop the whole cycle of
Blaming.
yes?
I think it's important to realize that there are consequences for every behavior. Now I'm talking about a person. Okay, I'm talking about everyone. Because even a 2-year-old, we normally take my grandson when there's something to discipline for. We will say, okay, you can sit on a chair and think about it. Let's move him away from playing with toys and whatnot. Let him sit and think about it. Because if you say to him, I'm going to punish you, you're going to sit on, or you're going to go on a naughty corner or not, you are saying to the child, you are naughty. Meaning you have concluded, you have judged to say you are naughty, and the child becomes worse because they're thinking, I'm naughty. I sit in the naughty corner. Before you know it, even if when you say naughty corner, they go there before you even say. When they finish doing whatever they do, they say, I'm gonna go to the naughty corner. So,
And it doesn't feel like a punishment now.
it's not supposed to be punishment anyway. It's supposed to
routine.
be, think about it, and then you come back and say, okay, have you thought about it? If they are not able to talk to you back, and then you can say, what do you think? Was it right for you to hit this other child? No, it was not right. Who says sorry? I'm so sorry. Then let them be. We make a big thing out of things. Okay, so taking responsibility and knowing that there is consequence. There should be consequence. We're not saying if the child, you cannot hit the child, don't put consequences. Children need to grow up knowing that if I stop at the robot and if I don't stop at the road, for example, yes, there might be an accident or there might be police that would give me a ticket. We should be able to take responsibility, and children must take responsibility from the young age. Like I'm saying, 2-year-old, you can still say, sit on the thinking chair and think about it. You know what I'm saying? So take away privileges and things like that and bringing them back to thinking, but you know what? Why did I do this? Go to mommy and really with a heartfelt response to say, Mommy, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. Because now you gave them time to think about it. You didn't say they are evil, they must sit in a naughty corner and things like that. Once you take the child as naughty, then you are blocking the child from you. You are better, they are naughty, so they don't deserve anything. Where you are concerned, they are good for nothing. You're throwing them away to the naughty corner. But if you say, please think about this, because this is really not nice, sit down and think about it, then they are sitting there and thinking about it.
So words can either break.
Sorry?
Words can either break you or build you.
Yeah, so you were talking about how can we make sure that no one blames anyone. Really, the parents did what was done to them because those who did it didn't know better. And, we are in this stage now where the government says no hitting the children, where we need to now take time really to understand the children and do things that are going to help them think about their behavior more than just wanting to force to hit the children and shout them and whatnot. No, that does not take out anger out of the children. So no one is wrong. You do what you know. What you don't know, you don't know. But after this session where you hear, then you need to go back to yourself and say, I need to do better. So the parents are not wrong. The children are not wrong. We just need to reconcile the two.
This program is brought to you by Shiloh Wellness Center. Peaceful and safer health for everyone.
Hola, hola, 2 and 3, Jordan City.